and
literally for the cost of probably like a couple $100 commercial. Like the commercial could not have been made with more than a handheld camera and stuff that he already had lying around his business. And putting a video on YouTube is 100% free. There are things that you can pay for on YouTube, but you don't have to at any point, and I doubt he did. And that's another thing, is that there's zero necessary overhead for any of this outside of stuff that you probably already have,
well,
like
time
internet
and time.
But like the time and the internet connection, and if you use a smartphone, that. But most of you probably already have those things, or at least the internet, and it allows you to do campaigns on the scale that was typically and traditionally only accessible by much larger companies with much bigger budgets and a much grander scale. But now anybody can do it. Anybody can do it for virtually free.
Just don't go out expecting that what you do is going to go viral, because it's probably not.
It's just like a billboard doesn't always bring you business.
And most of those, I'm sure that guy never dreamed that his video would go viral. The right person saw it, and it just took off. So you don't want to plan what you're doing in the hopes that it's going to do that. You want to plan it for a reason. But hey, you never know. You might get lucky.
And another thing is that social media might start a business that you didn't even know you wanted to start. If you have a funny video of something that happened and you post it on YouTube, there are tons of people who are selling merchandise right now because they recorded a funny 30-second video and people wanted to buy shirts of it. Mm-hmm. They're making a living off of it. So I mean, it really changes up businesses and how they need to think.
What was the business that you were talking about, or have we already talked about it? Oh yeah, we already talked about Bitly, how there are actually new business models out there just because of certain, tiny subsets of the internet. Okay, do you want to do that thing? Because
I don't think we really have time, but we can do something with it another time.
Okay, you don't want to just do a quickie so we can show how.
Do you guys want to do a quick exercise, or does anybody need to go?
5 minutes. Okay.
All right. So I've already picked it out. We're gonna go around the room and see if anybody can think of an interesting social media campaign for a random industry. And I have picked office products, furniture, and printing. Is that you?
Pressure! And it doesn't have to be anything. Basically, what we've been talking about between each other is it's harder to think of things to do for yourself than it is for other people. Because we all do what we do every day, day in, day out, and so we take things for granted, whereas other people can probably tell us a ton of things that they'd be interested in knowing about. So we thought if people here go, oh, well, I would like to know this, some things like that, then it would show y'all how easy it is to brainstorm, and you don't have to come up with a campaign, like something to actually do, but topics, if there's certain things.
I don't know the first thing about printers. I consider myself kind of a tech head, but it's just something that I've never really learned about. So what would be interesting from my perspective would be a short blog, maybe featuring a printer every week or something like that, letting me know the pros and cons of what types of printers or what brands or what models and something like that. Anybody else have any ideas?
Or the differences in, and I'm going to really show how out of touch I am with printers now. So I don't even know if they have all the different kinds, but laser, inkjet, and all that. A lot of people don't know what the differences are. So that's more general than what Glenn is talking about. That's just a real overview. But they don't only sell printers either. They print things. They sell office products. They do our Christmas cards.
Oh, printing. I'm sorry. I thought it said printers.
But I mean, they do sell office equipment. But
I would like to see all about the different sizes of paper, because
that's a good one.
The cheapest paper. Yeah. And I'd like to see what kind of paper you should use. What kind of?
That's a really good point, because we don't know that much. All of us, I'm sure, don't know that much about paper weights and that kind of thing. And yeah, you're okay with this one at certain points, but if you're doing your resume, you really, really should do this one. And that's something that not only could you write a blog about, you can use images, but you also might be able to come up with some kind of fun, interesting video about it too.
Yeah.
I like an office, a fashion show of office chairs.
Oh, that would be fun.
Picking an office chair.
Yeah, that would be fun. And, you know, I can't tell you how many office chairs I've bought over the years that I don't think about all the features because I don't buy one all the time. And then and then I have it and I go, oh, it can't do this or it can't do that. So, yeah, that would be really cool. Start out with the junky little one and go all the way to the Rolls Royce of the office chairs.
Yeah, you go into Target and you think, oh, I don't need to spend $80 on an office chair. So you buy the $20 one, and a day later you regret that pretty badly. So that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Anybody else got any other ideas?
How about something about fonts?
That's a good idea, yeah.
Fonts or something like that.
Yeah.
Some fonts are friendly, some are.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Serif sans serif, and then when people are preparing their images for you, how at what size, you know, the different aliases, crisp, soft, smooth, you know, just a short. If you're sending us this, then you should use this aliasing.
Maybe the definition of aliasing.
Oh, I'm sorry. See, there again, he can just letters. You know, they will be jaggedy around them, so aliasing blends the edges so they don't look jaggedy. And they're different, you know, different methods of doing it, and some are better for certain fonts and sizes than others.
Probably paper, too.
Yeah. So that right there shows you right there, you have probably half a dozen ideas now that you could go and do half a dozen blog entries, do several videos. We could have some kind of like a fashion show, like she said, or office chair races that we could do videos on, or something, you know, just
down
from
Main Street.
Yeah.
Well, first Friday.
Yeah.
Or
down the
Thursday,
hill,
whatever
yeah,
it's
down
called.
the hill on Main Street, and see who can stop before they get to the river. Yeah, but that just shows you, you know, and so really, if you're stumped, ask your friends, ask your clients what they would like to know. Another thing is, keep a list of like the questions that people ask you, because we tend to forget them. Or in my case, what I'll do if I'm researching something for a client, then I might go write a short blog entry about it. Because I mean, you can't know everything about everything. So even though I do know a whole lot, no, you know, I mean, there are always questions that I don't know, and so it's like, hey, if I'm going and spending the time doing it, I might as well put something out there for somebody else too.
And when you were talking about blogs being picked up and getting higher elevations in Google, or elevations on the word, but whatever. I mean, I can see something like, you know, how to select the right paper for a resume or something.
Yeah.
It's something that would get picked up because so many people are doing that right now.
And I'm sure there are articles out there, but a lot of them are probably old articles that have been sitting on some site forever. And so the more frequently you're updating, the more Google is going to, the more frequently you update, the more frequently they're going to come back and crawl your site to index it. So, you know, it's like a big circle, and it keeps going, keeps gathering steam. And the effects are exponential. You know, you're not going to see results immediately, and nobody, no legitimate business is going to promise you any kind of results, but it's never going to hurt you. And then if you keep at it long enough, at the very least, you'll have more content out there that gives you more credibility. So when somebody goes to your site, if you have a blog, you have more content for that person who's already there to read. But with blogs, like from my angle, I have to do a whole lot of research because of the different projects that we do and researching what we should do for various clients in this industry and that. I would say at least 90% of the time I get my answers from blogs and forums. Very rarely is it from some official source somewhere. It might lead me to an official source, but the vast majority of time it's going to be from blog or forum. And, you know, that's become more and more so over the past year or two. But I bet if y'all start paying attention when you Google, unless you're just Googling something in the news, then you're going to find the news sites, you know. But when you're just out looking for information, I bet if you start paying attention, you'll start noticing that you're running across more blog entries.
When you're talking about blogging, you're talking about blogging from an established website that somebody creates. In other words,
You can blog from sites like blogger.com, which Google owns, or from wordpress.org, and in that case, the blog is hosted on their site, but it's yours. you're better off if you actually blog on your own site, because then you're building content for your site that's being indexed.
But as an individual, would you create your own?
Well,
your
if
own
you're an
site?
individual and you're just doing it for the heck of it, I would do it on Blogger or WordPress.